Oh, today's show is going to be a doozy. Round Hill, Granite shares, all of them. You know, I have so much content. This is why you subscribe. And I didn't want my subscriber count to grow. I liked when it ended in 69. It was like 8,069, and now we're almost at 9,000. I wanted to do Round Hill Margin Booster. I wanted to do WPay. Oh, I'm down. Then I got this. I got the crap. So today we're going to do a breakdown of Granite shares and more fund manager bullshit.
That one performer, depending on which way you looked at Tesla, for example, had gone down versus something like an Nvidia or whatever that had gone up. Yeah. And then you've got the other construct, which is, well, what do you do with your distributions? So you're getting distributions on a weekly basis. Are you taking those out and are you putting those or redeploying those somewhere else, or are you reinvesting in the fund? And depending on what the answer is to that, then it's about the value clearly of the NAV that you're left with.
Yeah. Left with. The NAV that you're left with. So our friend, okay, I always relate to him as one of the lizard people. I don't know. Maybe it's the voice. I don't know. Okay? But we're going to do the whole review, and yeah, they suck. This is like Yield Max with a British accent and a bunch of bullshit. Now, our hero, the clam, that's what we call Kamir, the clam. He was kicked off YouTube because, well, he makes false promises to people and gives them delusions of ROI and all that. But whatever you believe, you believe. Okay? So he has Will Grinder on the show. Okay? And this shows you how desperate Will is to go on X, okay, to the Cambodian immigrant most. It's not even that they're just the most ignorant of ignorant retail traders. We call them lawnmower jockeys because they just don't understand. But Will, oh, he jumped right in there with his lizard tongue, ready to not answer any questions. And at the end, he will shock the shit out of you. But without my narration and without me coming to explain what the dummies cannot explain, you wouldn't see this. All you see is a smile and a British accent. Blue-blooded. So let's go a little bit back.
Fund manager brush that off. So when you brush that off and you don't answer the question, a lot of time the answer says continue to drip. And then the second question is blame it on the other line. I say, well, we can only blame it so much because if you look at like Netflix, for example, you look at Netflix, that thing is going up to 1,000, but then you look at the income version of the Netflix, the high yield version of it, like that thing should be sitting around $15. Well, like there's no correlations. Like what happened, you know? Yeah. And
so our friend the clam, okay, is trying to say what's going on with all these covered call funds. What's the bullshit that you're giving us that because we have to, because we want income, our NAV has to go through the floor. And it's almost like you keep telling us we have to reinvest. Okay, Jay Petrocelli told me to my face in an interview, and you can find it on my channel, where I said, Jay, how much of this income fund, this yield max income-based, giving me money to live fund, do I have to give you back from every payment in order for my capital not to drain? I know it's not a growth fund. I don't expect it to go up. But just for it to not to drain. I want to live off the funds. You know what he said? All of it. 100%. YouTubers have taken the clip from my video and played it everywhere. But Colonel Sanders is not doing interviews anymore. At least not with me. So the problem with these covered call funds, very simply, and our friend Will the Grinder will not answer the question. He will dance around it with a British accent. The dum-dums who, that's why they won't interview with me. The dum-dums that they interview will just brush it off because they're stupid. So Coinbase is a good fund, right? What happens is it's capped on the upside. Every time Coinbase went down and stumbled, okay? The underlier, which they like to blame. Every time it went down and stumbled, the Coinbase one, right, of yield max went down, took it all to the downside, but because it's capped on the upside, never came back up. When Coinbase went back down, well, Coney went down more, okay? And then when Coinbase went back up, Coney didn't come back up. But Coinbase went down again, maybe Tariff Fridays, oh, Coney took all the downside, but it never came back up. This is why covered call funds straight up suck. But if you get stuck in the delusion of building shares, they're called chairs amongst the stupid community, the more shares you have is irrelevant. If you dollar cost averaged all the way down, as this thing lost $7 a share, 52% of its value, you got more worthless shares, worth less than they were before. You were better off taking your money and just lighting it on fire. So what good is an income fund if you can't take the income? So let's hear what the grinder. To me, okay, I looked at, well, Defiance, forget about it. I know the history. If you're all new, okay, you don't know. Okay, and YieldMax did the greatest thing ever. They smoke screened all of you. Oh, you'll never know. They bought so much time. They pulled an ulti. You want to talk about ulti? We'll save that. But I put $350,000 in there when it was paying over $1 a month, and it was $13. By the way, it's just over $5 today. I gave it a chance, okay, with $350,000, okay, 35,000 shares. Didn't work out. I lost a lot of money. That was when they fixed the prospectus, and I interviewed Jay the second time. And then I gave Ulti more of a chance before we get back to the grinder. Will Grind of Granite shares and why they suck. Oh my God, I can't believe it. MSTR is $11. Bitcoin hits all-time highs. And you can see here, every time MicroStrategy was struck down, MicroStrategy tried to come back up. This thing never could come back up. And the dividends, you think you're going to get ROI? You think the dividends make up for it? Now that they're going to pay weekly, it's easy not to give you $1 a month anymore, you schmucks. You won't see it. All right? Before you know it, the first payment was 60 cents. That was the first payment. Okay? And this was the smartest thing YieldMax could have ever done. Because now they can't blame NAV erosion. Now it's not obvious. It's optics. It's smokescreen. Okay? But everything will continue as it was. Your wealth will continue to go down, and you will continue to think you're making income when you're not. This is not making income. This is not building wealth. Your dividends, I heard this Cambodian farmer schmuck. You know what's funny about Khmer? He can't even speak English. But little do you know, you think he swam here from Cambodia? No. He was born in Boston. Why can't he speak English? Fucking moron. Maybe God punished him for fucking misleading people, building a cult. Because you're the product. And every 5-hour live stream, okay, he's getting paid by the minute. X is monetized. Don't be stupid. Do you know an average work week, they say, is 40 hours, right? He spent 25 hours last week live streaming, and he don't care about money. He don't care about the ad revenue. You're all so gullible. This is why the fund managers will never talk to me again. They know that I'm not stupid. I'm not a dumb YouTuber. So, our man, the clam. So, the clam comes out, and he goes ahead, and he asks Will about the NAV erosion, and that nobody comes out and says the truth about the NAV erosion. And Will gives him a mental blowjob. He doesn't answer the question. He does exactly what Khmer says. He blames it on the underlier, and that's it. Okay?
Please likes, comments, and subscribe.
So let's get back to Will the Grinder and hear his answer.
So these are things that a lot of the high yield people, not high yield, because we're about to explain to you why we understand it and then we play it differently. So the other thing, I'm hoping the community come back and ask these questions. I'm just kind of set the condition for us to have discussion. So the second thing is you do essentially sell put side of the. And we're starting to see a huge difference between the two. It almost to a point from a I know, just think about it, I never worked in finance, never went to school for this.
I love the way he acts stupid. Oh, it's so great.
That a lot of competitors use is not as superior. It's just not. It just, for some reason, it's not working. It's like, I'm almost at the point like it's not working. And so, but on the put side, for some reason, it seems like it's a lot more superior and it's working. And the strategy that you are employing, which you essentially doing option trading on a leverage fund, it appeared to be a lot way superior. I'm just curious in that because that's the driving force, and that's we didn't see this because there was no competition prior. But all we see is this price coming down, and the answer was pretty much blame it on down the line and continue to drip. And we're like, why we keep dripping it when we can't even spend the money? You know what I mean?
Okay, now listen to Will's answer. I'm pretty sure this is where he goes into it. There's another part where a caller calls in, Sal's mom or Stanky Ho, I don't know what her name is, right? And she's like, how much do I have to put back? And he says, all of it! The same shit that Jay said. I almost fell off my chair. I'm going to find it for you and play it.
So, look, I mean, I'll let you into a bit of a secret. It's sometimes easy,
well, it won't be secret.
right?
Remember, it's public. I apologize, Will.
These clowns.
No, of course.
All right. I'm going to show you point blank that this is crap. So let's let the clam talk.
It's going to be a hot topic. It's going to be essentially, so we talk about the community. There's a whole bunch of communities out there. But what we tell people is that the high yield dividend community, even though we're pretty big, we're still very small in the world of dividend.
Come on, get to the point.
So because there's the SHD crowd and is this concept of the price appreciation. So like a lot of people don't want to call it NAV. We understand why you don't want to call it, but just for the layman term, it's the NAV erosion. So what happened? What happened is that what we believe a lot of ETF fund manager, they don't do the messaging right. They don't explain that. Explain it to us, this community. We got it. We're like, you don't need to explain to us. But what they don't understand is you have to explain to that 90%, 99.9% of the customer out there. They don't understand it. So when they don't understand it, they see it going down. And so what happened, now they're making all kind of negative assumption. And so instead of just, so a lot of time when I talk to the fund manager, I say, dude, all you do is just explain it. You have to explain how it works, because if you don't explain how to work, then people are going to create a lot of negativity around that. So the very first topic is going to be this concept of NAV erosion, or essentially the stock values coming down, because that's one of the things that plague high yield dividends. So just curious to hear what your take on that.
Okay, freeze right here. Now, keep in mind, they're supposed to be trading options to make money. They're traders, right? So, we understand that the dividend has to come out of the NAV. Let's go back to the old days where it was more obvious, where you get paid once a month. So let's say they pay out $1 dividend. The NAV goes down by $1, you get your dividend. Now, if they are trading and they are successful traders, that should replenish and the fund should grow back, and then they pay you out what they earned. It goes back down and the cycle repeats. But here's the problem with all these motherfuckers, okay? They run their trades so poorly that if the underlier in a covered call fund goes up too fast, they lose all their trades. So instead of saying, hey, we lost all our trades, we can't pay you this week, that would be terrible for business. They pay you the IV. That's bullshit marketing. That's what causes NAV erosion. So you're capped on the upside. You're selling your growth. Okay, we want the income. I'm with you. But if you didn't make any money trading, All your calls got blown out, and you're paying me something that you didn't earn? Go fuck yourself and your fund. That's the real truth of it. You see, when we used to get into crypto platforms back in the day, before FTX, before Celsius, before anything that you knew about, before even BitConnect garbage, you give somebody or a platform $10,000 to trade with, they make money, they pay you every week. They keep trading, they pay you every week. This bullshit where they lose all the trades and pay you the IV, you could hear if you listen to Retard on Dividends, RuPaul the shill, okay, who now is losing all his subscribers and has zero credibility because he never said a shred of truth. Okay, I have less and less subscribers than all of them because I don't tell you what you want to hear. I'm not popular. I'm not advertiser friendly. I don't say, like, please hit 1,000 likes. You could blow me with that. I already made my money. I'm good. Okay? Now, these guys cover this up. So let's hear. The question posed by the clam was good. The answer from Yield Boost, get ready for Operation Smokescreen. Look at that. The AI can't even spell. Okay? Look at that. Go ahead, speak.
Yeah. Sure. So, I'd love to hear your take on it, but my 2 cents on it is it's really quite straightforward that, the number one reason for any ETF going down, high yield ETFs, regular.
Now, the clam Kamir always says Jay and everybody had a communication problem, and all they would do when a fund would go down is blame the underlier, right, or the market. The underlier or the market. Let's hear if he does the same thing.
Equity ETFs, bond ETFs, is that the underlying asset goes down.
Yeah.
And so, there's nothing that you can do to escape that sort of basic truth, is that if you're investing in a fund that, sells options on Tesla stock and Tesla stock goes down, well, guess what? Within a certain tolerance, that fund is going to go down because that asset's gone down. I think that part is maybe the most obvious part, but the bit that probably you're referring to that most people get confused about, I think, is they don't factor in the value of the distributions.
Oh, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
In other words, the whole point of the fund is you're selling something, you're getting something in return, and then you're distributing almost all of that to your shareholders. So by definition, every week, your NAV is going to go down by the amount that you've distributed.
That's true, but aren't you fucking trading, you cocksuckers? Aren't you fucking trading? So shouldn't it come back up because you're adding the trading profits back into the NAV? You fucking motherfuckers. This is all my personal opinion, by the way.
To shareholders, that's the way the fund is designed to work. Yeah. And I think people get confused.
No, people don't get confused. All of the covered call funds, I don't care if you're selling puts, I don't give a fuck what you're doing. Except for Roundhill, what they're doing with swaps, because it's based on price action. We actually recover. That's why I'm on Roundhill. You think I wasn't in all this yield shit with you? Let me show you, okay? All right, look here. Misty, $44. Oracle sold it at $25,000 profit because I wasn't drinking the Kool-Aid. Bitcoin after this went to all-time highs. Misty is like $16 now, $11. Can never recover. The dividends do not make up for what you lose altogether. This shit blows a hole in your portfolio like you have no idea. Okay? It will literally blow a hole in your portfolio. Here. Okay? I got into AMZ at $22. It's Amazon. It's got to be great, right? Well, I had 18,000 shares. That means every dollar down, I lost $18,000. No fucking dividend in the world is making up for that. So as this shit AMZ sunk down, okay? Sunk down. This is real world. This is my opinions from my experience. And if you fund managers don't like it, go fuck yourselves. All right? Go suck off some other YouTubers. You know, I tell you something. These prick fund managers, especially all you that are begging, you know, you all want to be YouTube stars. You think you're going to get rich on YouTube. You think you're going to make big money, right? You think you're going to be Mr. Beast of fucking ETFs. So you're interviewing, you're sucking off these jerk-offs, right? You should tell these motherfuckers you want to interview, it's $25,000, you prick. Okay? Fucking blue-blooded motherfucker. It's $25,000 for interview. No more free advertising. Get the fuck out of here. All right? They'll fly you to New York and give you a sandwich and you could get on your knees. It's bullshit. This is straight up bullshit. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. This is all legal. It's all in the prospectus. They're doing what they say they're going to do. But when enough regular people get pissed the fuck off, the Stacys of the world, the Normans, okay, they're going to have an uprising. And what you built your fucking Persian yachts on, okay, the same people's backs are going to be the ones to bite you in the ass. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with your prospectuses. There's nothing wrong with the fucking emails that you send out purposely enticing people with the fucking yield that you can't earn from trading. You motherfuckers need a slap. It's really the truth, okay? I got the tickets right here. Everything right here. Reverse splits, they'll cut you into the fucking ground. And then they'll tell you it's okay. Okay? SMST. I used to trade this. I made $25,000 in this run. Okay? SMST is by Defiance. You know what it was? This thing was like $80, something like that. It's shorts micro strategy, 2x daily. The thing went down to $6.86. Right? It stopped making money. It went all the way down to $1 something. They reverse split it 20-1. That means if you were saving all your shares and reinvesting, counting the shares like you're opening a fucking auditorium, right? And you needed lots of chairs. Well, they just took most of them away from you. Now, that would be fine. It was valued at the same when they did the reverse split, right? But the problem is the fund kept on sucking. And it went all the way from $40 again. Hold on. Let's see where it is today. You want to have some fun? All right. You won't even see any. So this thing. Now, MicroStrategy is fucking dying. Okay? In the last 6 months, this thing lost $10 a share after they reverse split it. You know what reverse split is? You want to know? It's a reset for the fucking fund to start the price all the way up again. But obviously, since they reverse split in the last 6 months, it's still raping people. Raping portfolios. Okay? Year to date. 78% down. $120. You don't see it. They reverse split the shit out of this. Okay? So if you had 20,000 shares, it was a 20-for-1 reverse split. Now you have 1,000 shares. At the same time, they were worth the same amount of money. Right? And look what happens a few months later. 6 months later, you lose another 24%. It just keeps going down, but the fund had a reset. Congratulations, Sylvia from Defiance. Nice job on that one. Well, I guess at this point, I should Kevlar the Lambos, okay, because they're going to send a bunch of fucking Colombian hit squad after me. I want to do a video on this. I want to do a video on my margin boosting, okay, which this one is going to be great. Stay tuned. How to use margin, you know. Why don't I tell you right now? Let's just make life easy. Okay, this is a non-margined account. Okay, what's in here is HOOW and the Google version from, because they have earnings coming up, from Roundhill. If you notice here, I have a negative balance as the close of Friday of $1,895. This is called margin boosting. The day the dividend is announced, you margin exactly the amount of the dividend you're about to get in 2 days. What does that do? Well, this will be paid off in 2 days, but I bought more shares in advance, collected the dividend on them, and they will be paid by the dividend. It's genius if you think about it. It's a way to increase your holdings. But let's get back to the clown show. So back to this. Let's hear.
Confused, or some people get confused. I shouldn't say everyone gets confused.
We're not confused, fucknut.
About this concept, get confused with that because they don't think about the value of that. And again, what we are doing is no different to buying, shares in Exxon or Coca-Cola or any of your sort of classic dividend-paying stocks. Every time they pay a dividend, guess what? The value of that goes down.
Hold on.
And
that dividend is earned profit, and yes, stocks go ex-dividend. But there's a massive difference between that type of dividend and an ETF that pays you a dividend monthly. I don't care if it's weekly. If it's weekly, you're less apt to catch it because you're stupid. Okay, and you want to believe. But if it's monthly and it goes ex-dividend, it pays you a dividend, like I said, listen to the bastard bearded bitch stepchild of retard on dividends called the ETF inspector. Oh, he's such a beta male pussy. He can't even fight a germ. He's like, I don't got something. Oh, what a douchebag. But listen to him closely. He reads all the trades from Ulti. And he tells you, they lost all their trades. They've blown through all their trades, but they're going to pay you 9 cents this week. Or they pay you the IV. When they do that, that's what destroys your wealth. That's FYP. Fuck your principal. Now, you might say, well, what are you saying, Oracle? Should they not pay us if they don't make money? Well, that would be a marketing disaster, because what would schmucks like Kamir and everybody else, even you, do if they didn't pay you 1 week? You pull your money and put it somewhere else. So they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's called the grinder. Look at Will Grinder.
that's just because.
It's just because you're full of shit. Now, let's go ahead a little bit, because he says we don't understand. I explained it. A dividend should be a reward, not a punishment, you motherfuckers. A dividend should be a reward, not a punishment. Okay, if we have to recover from your fucking stupid dividend that you didn't earn and you're paying us for marketing, you know what? It's so horrible to say, but maybe, just maybe, if your mom swallowed that night when you were conceived, maybe it would be a better place today in the world. That's what I say to people.
You pay out whatever that amount is, and therefore it goes down. So the easiest way to combat that is clearly to reinvest the distribution.
Oh, fuck you!
But I think...
Fuck you! Did you just say the same shit that Jay told me to reinvest the distributions? That's like going to an all-you-can-eat buffet, and then when you go back for more food, they say you can't have any because you didn't put any food back. Fuck you and your Cambodian, Korean restaurant, too.
Constructs that we come across when people are referring to this concept.
How about you motherfuckers trade and make the money and pay us what you make? How about you find a way to do this? Okay? This is Yield Max with a British accent. At least Yield Max is trying. They went to weekly, so none of you schmucks realize they learned from Ulti. They're very smart. Okay? That's what makes them great at AUM. They learn from Ulti. They say, these schmucks think that it's bottomed out. They don't see that it's still losing money. And they think it's, market up and down and this and that. And even if we were paying them 10 cents and we slowly slipped to 9, 9.1, then 8.9, they still think it's the same. We bought a lot of time with this Ulti. So you know what? All the other funds that are going down the same way, how can we fix everything? Let me think. Louis, you got an idea? And then they went to Kung Pao, the CNBC guy. He said, pay them all weekly. Fuck it, they're stupid, they ain't gonna know. And that's what's happening. And now, you're not gonna hear NAV erosion no more. You're just gonna hear believers on YouTube, YouTubers looking for views, retiring Ulti, retiring all of them. They're gonna tell you how everything's stabilized. I put my money where my mouth is. The shit ain't stabilized. They're full of shit. I tell you, about 4 weeks ago on my channel, 2 months ago, the OT containment. Okay, when they said it flattened out at $6.41, I bought 10,000 shares. I put the dividends into T-bill. I didn't have to reinvest and pay dividends, nothing. Put them into T-bill so you could see the first week, pay 10 cents. My 10,000 was down to 9,000. It moved $1,000 into my S-bill or whatever it is, S-Gov, T-bill, right? And then the second week, the same thing. By the fourth week, I wasn't keeping up anymore. The distributions were getting smaller, the NAV was getting smaller, and I was literally losing money. Today, the price is $5.15. Forget $6.41. Nobody remembers this. No, none of you people fucking see. And because you're so stupid, Goliath won. Okay? Yield Max has won. They saved the brand. By going weekly, all this will be forgotten. I won't even be able to point out NAV erosion anymore. I have nothing bad to say about them anymore because it's all hidden and I'm not fighting a fucking cult. I just will never put a fucking dime in there. Since the day I unsubscribed from their dopamine pumping emails, that $7 dividend, that I got a $36 dividend and it cost me $56,000 in fucking losses. You could suck a fucking dick with these funds. I am Roundhill, WPay, okay? I like XDTE, I like XPay. I can't wait till they come out with more, okay? That's almost everything. Oof, what a Sunday morning you're going to have.
Yeah, so what the concern is, so I'll break it down.
So again, the Clownbodian from Cambodia tries to explain again because Will just fucking said the same shit that Jay said. Reinvest and it's the underlier.
Even more, and then we're gonna get into like little weed of things here, is that so as the price come down, this is the major concern. All right, so the price come down, eventually it's gonna go down so low you're gonna have to like reverse split this thing, right? So when they reverse split it, so now it go back to a certain price, right? Well, guess what? It's going to come back down again.
Yep.
And when it come back down, and let's say they go back to $6, because there's no mechanics of it to maintain the price or grow the fund. So if there's no mechanics or grow the fund, we're not talking about yield boost or anything about just in general in high yield dividends.
Yes.
So we'll come back to the yield boost specifically because we see a differences, and that's why we love your products.
Bullshit.
We actually see the difference.
Stop kissing ass.
But it's just, I'm just talking about in general. So as you pay now we're looking at a fund that's sitting at $5, $6. Again, okay, we're about to reverse split again, but I know you're giving a percentage. But dude, right now the income received is 10 cents, 20 cents of that percent of $6, not at $20, but at $6, and so the price is even lower. So at some point you can't keep doing this. So is there that's their major concern. That's why they're fearful. Like, I don't want to buy something that keep coming down.
Nobody does.
See what I'm talking about?
Yep.
And we're tired of this total return bullshit, okay? You're either going to make real money trading or get the fuck out of here. We're all going to walk the fuck away. Fuck all of you. Straight up. Don't do interviews for these assholes anymore. Let them pay for fucking marketing. They could afford it. Even Howard Chan, fuck you too. He wanted to come on my show. I said no. Get out of here with this covered call bullshit.
First place. Yeah. And really it comes back to the two ideas we talked about, which is number one,
same shit.
The value of the underlying is going down.
Yeah.
So if you look across the different spectrum of yield boost funds, you'll see funds where the underlying has gone down and ones where the underlying has gone up.
Right, but that's not the problem. The problem is when everything's going well. You're just moving along. But the underlier went up. And maybe it went up too much, blew out all your calls. So now you got to pay us something, right? So you pay money you didn't earn. You pay the IV. And then your NAV drops. Now, if the underlier has a bad day, you're going to drop even more. The underlier has a good day, it's going way back up. You stuck down there with a broken leg. That's being capped. I can't make it any more clear. You ready? The next question is a doozy. Jay couldn't have said it better himself. Listen to Sour Pussy Mom. I don't know what her name is.
From the general public's here, and I'm going to keep reading questions if that's okay with you.
Yeah, I can hang around for a few more minutes.
Okay. This one is from Chikachu. This is from X.
The fuck
He's
is a
watching an X.
Chikachu?
I think she's watching from X right now. On X, can't talk using. So I'm going to read the question. Using TQQQ
Hold on.
as an
Hold on. I don't care about this part. Let's get to the next question. Hold
Again,
on. Shut up, Will. Just in case anyone gets it twisted. I know they're using puts, but it's the same bullshit story with a British accent. I know that they're not covered calls, so don't be a fanboy in the comments and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, because I know way better than you schmucks.
Strategy is we sell put options.
We know that. Hold on. Let's
buy
get to
put options.
Stanky Pussy Mom. I don't know what her name is.
You're back now, so she says she
Sour
can unmute
Mom.
herself. I guess you got the little one running around, keeping her busy. Sour Mom, are you there, or can you unmute your mic? Or go ahead. I know you.
Hi.
Hey, good morning. Welcome back.
Good morning.
We have
Hey,
Will here.
Stank
What do you
Bush.
think? Are you excited as I am?
Yes, I'm very excited.
She's
Yeah.
excited. She's
I'm
wet.
very excited to ask my question. As
Here's
well.
her question.
So, hi, Will. I'm a nurse. I am awkward, and my screen name is Sour Mom. So my follow-up question is, to maintain your NAV, what is the percentage of the distribution do you recommend we place back into the fund?
Well, the easy answer to that would be 100%, because that's just the math of when you make the distribution.
You fucking cocksucker, motherfucker. 100%. So for Stank Pussy Mom to maintain her fucking account balance, she's got to give your traders back all the fucking premium you gave her. Fuck you and Granite shares. I don't invest in garbage. Tell me what you think, how you really feel in the comments below, because this is the same bullshit with a British accent. Have a nice day, everyone.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channels. I just want to say to all the YouTubers making fun of me, who are probably thinking, wow, this guy is an idiot. Well, let me tell you, I'm making $40,000 a month. So who's the idiot now? So what if my portfolio value hasn't changed? I'm still making $40,000 a month for the rest of my life. Or until Robinhood liquidates my account.
Because bottles in Vegas.
As soon as you're close, we gotta get the hell out.
Hold on.
We can't trust this stuff
Let me
anymore.
mute her real quick. Because we know how to use margin. Because you don't know how to use margin, well, don't put it on us. Don't even ask us question. NAV erosion, cap erosion. Who give a flying fuck about that shit? It's ridiculous. At some point, you gotta like grow up. Otherwise, get the F out of here. Come hang out and come in and just even just to ask question like that. That's like going to a gay club and ask if there's any girls there. Get the F out of here, man. Let us, if you don't want to make money, that's fine. Then get out of here. Let us make money. We know how to make money, and we're gonna get rich.